I was just reading a post about Woodstock, and it kind of occurred to me, we've protested governments forever. I mean, like, forever. We have never protested the interpersonal abuse of one another. Ever. It just hasn't happened. We've never had big Woodstock type gatherings to elevate our treatment of each other from where it has, almost like irrevocably permanently been since maybe the dawn of mankind. I don't know. Why don't we do that? Why do we self-sympathize? Why do we need the demons to be government, corporation, and media? And I bash media a lot for maybe even unwittingly conditioning the masses to a state of mind. Maybe on purpose, maybe unwittingly. I don't know. I can't say, but I'm constantly bashing on mainstream media for the vernacular that causes a conditioning to sexism, race wars, anything and everything. I don't pull any punches, and I don't know if these people intend to actually do that, but they do it. But it's insulting to the human race, to every protester out there, that we have never protested how we are treating each other in the day-to-day. The lateral violence, the defamation, the character assassination. I don't think that we have a right to complain about anything in government, in finance, in media, if we're on the street being absolute garbage to one another. We have never, ever had a popular movement that addressed interpersonal relationships and emotional evolution of the species. So here we are in a permanent battleground. A permanent battleground that we displace our own misgivings onto government, media, banks, and we don't address our own issues with each other and ourselves, even ourselves. I mean, you're at war with yourself as much as you're at war with anyone else. I probably went to the store with my hair messed up like that. Whatever. But start a dialogue, People want to fix this. You're not going to fix anything politically. You're not going to fix anything economically. You're not going to fix anything the way that we're doing things. You're going to fix something. Fix the way that we deal with each other as human beings. Consider life sacred. Consider life precious, and consider each other loved and upheld for your unique qualities. And the challenge of helping each other get past each other's flaws, which you don't do. You throw people away. Humans treat humans like garbage, and that's completely erroneous. It is no wonder why society has taken on a brisk pace of going towards insanity. Mainstream media, every day when they post a headline, the grammar is bad. Incomplete thoughts. I mean, we need to check ourselves as a species, and affirm that not because you look pretty, not because you have money, but because you're breathing, you're flawed, and the evolution from flaws into more communal respect and sacredness. Because if you use love, people are like, what? Love doesn't. You don't even know, because you're not there. You haven't fought that battle. But decency and treating each other with regard, regardless of flaws. Because everybody has flaws. Everybody has a conditioning a brokenness to them. Now that brokenness can be healed if we all try, but we're not trying. We'd rather blame it all on government, and we'll blame it on finances, and we'll blame it on shit. We'll blame it on Santa Claus if the guy was, culpable. But we don't blame it on ourselves. And that's where a lot of the blame rests. A lot of the blame for the way the world is rests on the individual. And maybe you don't want to hear that, but that's the fact. And until you take it down to the individual I level, you're not going to solve anything. It's going to be the Hegelian dialectic repeatedly. Problem, solution, one side of the argument, another side of the argument, maybe a shades of different parts of the argument, all arguing this stupidity. Okay? We're one human family. We evolved out of the same mud. We're on the same rock, traveling at the same speed through space, with no alternative homeworlds. That's a fact. And we're allowing all this insanity because I want to feel this, I want to believe this, I want to perpetuate this, I've got to be some kind of big name in this. You see all these people walking around talking spirituality, charging people money. I mean, no, it's wrong. What's right is when you look at a human being and you see their flaws, and let's say the person wants to address their emotional, intellectual, and flaws in their attitudes and what their perceptions, which cause attitudes. Let's say they want to change that. What's wrong with helping them out, even if they can't get it in 10 years? Everybody making the right contribution doesn't mean you have to stick with them for an undetermined period of time. But if humans really wanted things better, they could make them better, because we're powerful as a species that works together. But we have never worked together. Blame it on people in political offices, the corporations, the bankers, when it doesn't. None of that is in their power. It's in our power to evolve socially, emotionally, and intellectually, and in our perceptions. We could have a beautiful world if we wanted to. We could have a world that's not getting poisoned. We could have everything we want if we would help each other evolve to the point where we realize that we can. But we're not doing that. We're kicking each other down the stairs, pulling out the ladder of violence, the defamation, the inflammatory remarks and attitudes. We'd rather do that because we have people like Bill O'Reilly and that blonde idiot. I'm glad I can't remember her name because it's like a dishonor to her visceral bullshit. And I've had my own visceral bullshit, but the progress of getting out of my visceral bullshit, I lost all the flakes in my life, which is a good thing. Those flakes actually could turn around and turn into real human beings at some point, but that's up to them. I'm not really concerned with that. Make the contribution in society with each other, because nothing else is going to make it. You can be the biggest conspiracy theorist, wingnut, whatever that you want to be in the world, but the only thing that's going to fix anything ever, and this is true all the way back to when we were tribal and we had a sense of community, is that we regard each other with sacred respect and noble intent. You can't blame the government because your attitude is crap. But we all of the protest concerts that have ever been were displacement onto the government, because if we got our junk together, there's not a government in the world that could withstand the scrutiny of us going, hey, we got our junk together, and you're still, you know, they would have to change. The world would have to change if we get our ability to live with one another together. So, you know, stop blaming others for your own bad conduct. That's all it comes down to.